let's talk about non-negotiable tech. I think this is the furthest I've ever had the camera from me when I'm filming. So this is like the far corner. I can barely see the screen on the camera right now. So I am a self-proclaimed consumer electronic addict. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean like just buying small little gadgets here and there off Amazon. I used to work for a pretty well-known UK consumer electronics company, like a retail store. And let me tell you, that staff discount was well used. I am obsessed with technology. I work as a software engineer, so obviously tech is like embraced in every aspect of my life. And that includes at home. So I've definitely fallen for like the smart home, smart bulbs, smart switches, like smart plugs, every aspect of that whole kind of thing. But also I feel like I've just gotten technology in every aspect of my life, I don't need physical books anymore. I've got a Kindle. I've got like the smart health devices, I've got my Apple Watch. I've got my smart scales and stuff. And I feel like technology is just your entire life, right? It's just everywhere all the time. Especially with me, I just feel like it's never ending, and it does kind of burn you out a little bit, how connected you are all the time. So I wanted to make a video about my non-negotiable technology. So if I was to get rid of every bit of tech I own, but there were a few that I definitely had to keep that I couldn't get rid of, what are those things? What are the essentials, non-negotiable bits of tech that I need in my life, basically? And not necessarily need either. Things I just wouldn't want to get rid of because they enhance my life so much. Even things that maybe connect me more with the real world around me, instead of just this endless connection with the internet that we all have nowadays. So what do I mean by non-negotiable tech? I mean anything that if I was to get rid of all of the tech I owned, I would want to keep. Things that actually are so vital to my life, or they enhance my connection with my surroundings, like the real world. So anything that I would not be able to live without, basically. I'm talking about bits of tech that I don't think I would have the same quality of life without, basically. And this is so hard to try and bring together. I started to write things down and I realised how much tech I use, first of all, in every aspect of my life. And that's maybe another video I could make, because it starts to get scary when you add up like the amount of gadgets or bits of technology that you own and you use on a regular basis. So what have I skipped out on in this list that probably is essential? Anything that I need to use for work, things that I just actually have to use in my life, those are essential, but they're not really non-negotiable for me. They aren't things that make my life better. These are all mainly tools that I do need to work or complete everyday tasks or stay connected with people. I tried to focus on things that you couldn't tear off me if you made me get rid of all my tech. So number one is definitely my coffee machine. I know this is cliche, but I am an absolute coffee addict, and I'm also a bit of a coffee snob, unfortunately, so I just couldn't live without it. I get so much value from my coffee machine. I just love it. Maybe it's because I'm an addict, you're probably shouting, but it enhances my life so much. So I got my Sage Barista Pro 4 years ago, almost, and I drink about 2 to 3 coffees a day at home. Every morning without fail, I make 2 coffees. I make one when I get up, and I make one to take with me to work. Most of the time I end up drinking that before we even left the house, which is bad, I know. But if you add that up over the 4 years, that's probably 4,000 plus coffees. So it definitely has saved me a lot of money compared to buying them in the shops. But then I know most people would say, well, what were you drinking before that? And it's probably instant coffee. So for me, the real value is just being able to make nice coffee at home. It enhances my quality of life. I just don't think I could live without it. And it's also just the coolest, sexiest looking coffee machine I've seen. So number one is the Sage Barista Pro. Right, we've got a guest for this one. Number 2, my AirPods. The ones I'm wearing here, my AirPod Maxes. If you've seen my other video on these, you'll know how much having headphones means to me in my life. That's so cliche, but I listen to music probably about 6 hours a day. Normally more than that, I think. When I'm at work, I have them on the whole time. I use them for Teams calls, but also to listen to music throughout the day. I normally have transparency mode on and not noise cancelling because I like to hear my surroundings. This is Bella, by the way. Do I say anything? No, she doesn't. I just think that my connection with music has been deepened so much, and I'm very connected when I listen to music. I love exploring new genres. I love exploring, I'm going to say performative now, but I love listening to things that take me outside my kind of music comfort zone. These headphones are definitely overhyped, I think. I think people are also very honest about the fact that you're not really getting, I think $600, £500 worth of value from them, but they are just super well built. They work super well with all my other stuff I've got. They work with my MacBook, they work with my iPhone, they work with everything I have, and there's no like device switching between them. They just work, and for transparency mode, there's nothing I've tried that's better, including the XM5s. They're so close, but nothing beats the AirPods Max when it comes to being able to hear your surroundings, and especially when I'm at work, I like to be able to hear what other people are doing around me. It's fairly late at night right now. It's not, it's almost 9, but she sleeps a lot, so I think she's wanting her bed. So this is lemsip and honey, because I wasn't feeling well this morning. But it's very hot and I spilt the honey down the side. So it's really just a hot, sticky mess. Anyway, so another change of scenery because I've left Bella alone because I think she wants to go to sleep. In case you've never met a greyhound, they pretty much just sleep all day and then run like frantically for about an hour or 2 hours a day and then continue to sleep. So great fun. So non-negotiable number 3. If you've watched any of my other YouTube videos, I think they're all about this, and it is my camera. I think everyone should own a camera. There are probably a million people on YouTube who could say this better than me, but I think a camera is essential. I think everyone should own a camera, whether it's your phone or whether it's a dedicated camera, digital or film or anything, such as my Fujifilm X-T50 I've got here. I just got this at the start of the year. I just think that a camera is essential. The whole point of living is to experience things, and why not capture that as you go along? I think it's also just a great hobby in general. It makes you appreciate your surroundings so much more when you go into experiences with the idea that you're looking for things to take pictures of. When I last went on holiday, which was Amsterdam, I'm walking around, and instead of just maybe walking around, on my phone, like I probably shouldn't have been, I'm actually excited to find opportunities where I can take a picture, or look at architecture more, look at my surroundings more, even looking at the people more, looking at people here in my hometown for opportunities to get a street photo. It's just kind of changed my perspective on my surroundings. So I really think a camera is an essential for everyone. And if I had to give up all my tech, I know that one of the things that I couldn't live without would be my camera. It's so really sticky and hot. So I have an awful memory. I'm not talking like long-term memory, I'm talking just like short-term. Like if you asked me the IP address of a server that I'd worked on a couple of years ago, or the hex code of a colour that I use often on my computer, or the number plate of my neighbour's car and stuff, I can always remember things like that. But when it comes to day-to-day short-term tasks, I have a terrible memory. So that brings me on to my final non-negotiable. This isn't really tech, but I just think it is technology, I suppose. A pen, right? I couldn't live without my pen and my notebook. I keep everything to do with personal life and work in one big notebook. I go through them. I always buy the exact same notebook. It's an extra large moleskin in this, I think it's sea blue. It's the lined one, not the expanded one, just the standard. I always buy the same one over and over. I've probably filled a good few of them now. And I write pretty much everything in this. Every day at work, I write down what I'm going to do. If I have something I need to remember to do at home, like if I wake up on the weekend and I'm feeling really productive, I'll get this out and I'll plan out my day. But I just write down everything, and it's not really journaling, it's more reminders, to-dos, important events, things I want to remember. So I don't think I could live without this. And it's just nice to have a nice pen and some nice paper just to write things down on, even when I'm trying to express something personal or something for work, when I have an idea that I want to expand on. I feel like it comes out of me a lot easier when I'm writing it with a nice pen and nice paper. Oh, I just put my finger right in that knee again. For God's sake. So like I said at the start of the video, these aren't the things that are absolutely essential, right, for me to get through day to day, for me to do my job or anything. These are items that I think genuinely enhance my life in such a way that I just wouldn't want to live without them. That sounds so depressing, that was the wrong way to say that. They're just things that I think add so much value to my life. I need them. They're my non-negotiables. And I think everyone's going to have some things like that they can't live without, right? Other people would probably look at and say, you definitely don't need that. So I want to know in the comments below, what are your non-negotiables? Is there anything that overlapped with mine? Is there anything wildly different that I probably couldn't live without but I didn't think about? Talking about notebooks, I was going to write down an outro for this video, but I forgot. So I don't have anything planned. So thanks for watching. Bye.